It's Sunday, December 4th, 19, right? Don't I wish?
It seems like it.
2022, and welcome to Ask Us Anything.
We are Mike and
Geez, I
Jennifer.
wonder what life would be like in 1922.
1922.
Yeah,
well,
that's
they
kind of a
did
fun
have
thought.
RVs. We saw that.
Oh, there would be RVs.
We saw those. Henry
Yeah.
Ford had an RV.
Yeah, they would be
Thomas
there.
Edison. They went camping together
I know.
in suits.
We have like a little time machine. We could go back.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Go back 100 years.
Probably some people think we were around back then, so you know what the heck. Well, anyway, it is great to have everybody with us on this December night. This is the quiet time, the quietest month of the year for RV travel, and it's a time that we tend to stay put to. Big announcement. Let's announce the winners of the contest that we've had for the last couple of weeks. The Waggle pet monitor. We have two. Count them winners.
Okay, we have James from Montclair, California, won the Waggle Light.
James, congratulations.
And Joe from Steubenville, Ohio, won the Wiggles.
The Waggle.
Waggles. Oh, should I leave? Should I just leave now?
The Waggle.
Yeah, the Waggle GPS.
And that Joe from Steubenville, Ohio, it's J-O. So that's a female, I think. So James and Joe are two winners. We'll have a couple more contests coming up, one more at least before this month is over. And a regular part of our Ask Us Anything. We love to have to be able to give away stuff. It's just really fun to do that. A couple thanks to Phyllis and for moderating and feeding us the questions. Phyllis is in Iowa tonight. And in Illinois, I think he's in Illinois. It's Chris is handling all the YouTube stuff. Phyllis is handling Facebook and the other platforms. And we're being simulcast on our Facebook page, RV Lifestyle page on Facebook, our RV Lifestyle group on Facebook, Twitter. What am I missing? I think Instagram. No, not Instagram. And of course, YouTube. And our Facebook supporters group. So, and LinkedIn. In fact, if anybody's on LinkedIn, we'll give you special attention tonight because I don't know how many people watch live stuff on LinkedIn. So anyway, we're simulcast on all those platforms. This is just the technology. Every now and then I have to take a stock of that and say, this is amazing. Do you remember when I started off in television, we were in this huge van that had this massive mast that went up. I had a producer, I had a videographer, a sound guy, because we recorded sound separate back then, and a lighting guy.
I was going to say, don't forget the lighting person.
And you needed all of that. And then you had to send this massive mast up, and it was microwave, and it had to get lined. It was just, and then, slowly things came on, and now from our cell phones, we can do this.
Yeah, it was hard back in 1922.
No, it wasn't 19. It was 19 in the 80s. It started to change, but it was. It's just amazing. I wish I could show the young TV reporter in the 80s what it's like now in 2022. So, anyway, welcome. We're going to get to your questions and your comments, and we look forward to answering as many as we can tonight. So. Let's see who we got, starting with our friend Linda Ward in Robbinsville, New Jersey.
Okay, Mike, what do you know about Hip Camp? Also, your new property is gorgeous. Thank you, Linda.
Yeah, we did a video yesterday on YouTube that showed off the property we have in Michigan. So, yes, we have property in Florida, property in Kentucky. Man, I'm all confused.
I got you confused too?
We have property.
Was there something in the water?
It must be. Well, we were out there working and raking leaves all afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
So we have property, RV property in Tennessee, and we now have it in Michigan. So we have the best of both worlds. We'll go back and forth a lot. And we did a video on it. Plus the big project, as that video shows, is we're renovating a house in Kalamazoo that's on our 10 acres there. And someday we'll be done.
We bit off, I think, more than we can chew.
We keep saying, what did we do?
Yes.
I need a plumber. I can't find plumbers that'll work. We had trouble finding electricians.
Okay, we had one plumber come. He drove up in a Corvette.
Yeah, that was the first sign. He drove up in a Corvette.
Playing music. He was a very nice guy.
Yeah,
but he didn't want to do the job.
It was work, so.
No.
So anyway, it's we're working, trying to find the trades. We have a contractor, and he's having trouble finding qualified help for him, and it's just so frustrating. So it's going to be a while. It's a long-term project, but it's fun. All right. And Linda asked, do we know about Hip Camp? Hip Camp is a great app. and a web service that helps you find places to stay, campgrounds. And a lot of them are privately owned pieces of property that people will share back and forth. We may put some of our Tennessee land, the sites we have there for camping, we may do it because we've already put a couple of hookups in Michigan. We may do that on Hip Camp.
Okay, so what always bothers me is, what if somebody has an issue? If something doesn't work right?
Well, they're staying there as
you
a
know.
guest. They're not long-term. It's kind of like Harvest Host, on some of these. You're not supposed to have an issue. Solve it yourself. We're not charging anything.
How do you know how long they stay?
Well, if you're living there, you can see.
You're paying for the electricity.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think it'd be that big of a problem.
Okay.
But it's a great service. So give it a try. And if you have property that you want to make available on HipCap, you can do it there. And some people charge. They have a fee. I'm not sure that we'd want to charge. I mean, maybe we will someday,
It just
but
seems like somehow then if you take in money, you're liable.
Yeah, you're liable. Then you'd have to get a lot more different type of insurance, and it would just, I think, cause more problems than helping people. So I don't know. But HipCap, we've used it ourselves. That's great. Sigma Male with the question:
where do I find a half acre or up to an acre setting on a river? Where is the best place and how much? I'm ready to retire and I need some help. Your information is so much appreciated. A lot of questions. Where do you live right now?
Where do you want to go?
Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
What's calling you?
We've spent
Martha's Vineyard. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think Martha's Vineyard. We spent over a year looking for property in Michigan, and we found it's very different in Michigan. There are no, like the place we have in Tennessee, the 5 acres we have there, that's in a big development that's being sold and marketed to RVers. In fact, they have a big sale coming up next Saturday. Mm-hmm. They're in the final phase of selling that out.
I just can't believe that.
4,500 acres.
That's incredible.
But and there's a place like that in Arizona that's selling, I think, 5 acre lots. Mm-hmm. But those are very hard to find. Those are the only two. There were a couple. There was one in Florida that sold out. There was one in Alabama that we looked at that sold out. These will both sell out as well. The Woodlands where we are and the one in Arizona, because a lot of states and a lot of municipalities have all these things. Some of them say you can't camp on it for long periods of time in an RV. You got to build a house in a certain period of time. And then it depends on what kind of a state you're in. So there is no centralized place. I actually thought of trying to set up a website that would kind of list all of them, but it would be too hard to manage it. I can't manage what we're doing now, so somebody else can try that. But there is no centralized place, Sigma Male. So my best suggestion is to do what we did is we identified areas that we wanted to find property, and we
went online.
And we went online. We used Zillow a lot. I put in what I'm looking for, and Zillow is a pretty good service. It gives you lots of listings. It seemed that everything we really liked in northern Michigan was quickly sold. The property that we ended up getting, it turns out it's perfect for us because it's right around the corner from our son and daughter-in-law and our grandkids, literally a stone's throw away. And it's 10 acres, and it was sold. The original owners had died, and it was sold at auction. And so we were able to get it from actually the company that bought it at auction.
And they were going to flip it.
They were going to flip it, and we got it. It says, "Hey, stop what you're doing, and we'll just take it right now." And they still made well with that. But,
yeah, they did.
But we were very lucky. You just have to be on top of the market, but nobody's going to find it for you, Sigma Male. You got to do a lot of work. Finding a half acre to an acre. There are lots of those still in parts of Florida that you can look around for. On a river, you're pushing it. If it's there, it's going to be gone right away. But you got to look. So I'd say start with Zillow in the area you want to look at. Robert,
and the right real estate person. Once you find that, you think they're going to look that hard for a half acre, an acre, probably not.
We had a couple of real estate people help, but they weren't even more of a help than Zillow. Robert Hoke.
Your interview with a 100-year-old RVer brought to mind. Have you heard of any facilities that function as an assisted living facility for RVers? I'm 81 and thinking about the future.
No, I have not heard of anything like that. I think if you're looking at you need assisted living, you probably should not be in an RV because RVs have many more issues than a house or an apartment. So
there's a lot of parks in Florida, but they usually limit the amount of time you can stay there. But that people
they're
are really
expensive.
close together and they're happy there.
But assisted living, no, I have not heard of any.
Not yet, but it could be in the future.
Maybe. I don't know.
It could be.
I wouldn't recommend that. Assisted living in an RV is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Ron is in upstate New York. Thanks for being with us tonight, Ron.
I'm thinking meals could be delivered, help could stop by in your own facility.
If your heat goes off, you run out of propane and you're running stuff. The electricity gets disconnected.
Okay.
It's too many variables in an RV. Maureen Tweedley in Richmond, BC, cold but sunny.
Hey, sunny, it's great.
Yes. Frugal Tracy.
Happy to be here.
Oh, Tracy Renke. She is one of our moderators. Everybody give Tracy an applause right now. She helps keep things safe and sane on our RV Lifestyle Facebook group. Thank you, Tracy, for all of your work. And she has questions. She's here tonight. She usually can't make it. Robert Vaden.
I got a major problem. I busted my line off my gray tank.
See, aren't you glad you're not in assisted living, Robert? Because that's a big problem.
So do I have to replace the grate thing to hook the line back up? I was there, the adapter that I can put in there.
That makes no sense, Robert. Whatever you're asking. Do I have to replace the grate thing to hook up the line back up? I think you need to type that in.
Off his gray tank. So what is the line? You mean
I don't know. I can't. How can you figure out what? So you call an RV tech. I don't know what your problem is. From you wrote it too quickly. I think. Yeah.
Pictures.
I couldn't fix it anyway, Robert. But you do have a major problem. You can't drain your gray tank. So I don't think you have to replace the tank, but you need to get that fixed. An RV tech. Just Google RV tech near me, RV mobile service near me, and they'll help you right out. And they'll be able to look at that and figure out what your problem is.
It's a bad thing about spell check.
Check, yeah. I do that. I do that all the time. I type and it makes sense. I type it and then I say, I missed a word. So, but we got the gist of it. Inka Schultz.
When you had your Wonder RV with the rear storage garage, did the tray slide out? Come with the RV, or did you install it after you purchased the RV? And what brand of slide tray was it?
You've got two of our RVs confused, Inka. The Wonder RV did not have and when we had it, did not have a tray. However, on our Arcadia fifth wheel, we did put in a sliding tray because it's a huge pass-through storage site that we have on the Arcadia. And we have it's from Moorride. Is it Moorride or Lip? Yes, Moorride, I think. Let me think. No, it's Lip. Boy, I don't know. It's either more. No, it's I don't know. It's either Lippert or Moorride, and Moorride is Morryde.
Oh, here comes Phyllis to the rescue.
Phyllis, do you know what it is?
Didn't you have a slide-out tray to get the bikes in the back?
Oh, that came with it. Yes, you did. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I thought she was talking about.
It came stock on the Wonder. But on that's right. We did have because we used it. That came with the Wonder. So it just came with it. We did not have to install it afterwards. But on the Arcadia fifth wheel, we did put one in, and it's either from Moorride or Lippert. I can't remember. I kind of think it's Lippert. I think it was Lippert.
I think it was Lippert as well.
Yeah, it's really a handy thing. Edward Doran.
It's a good evening from Toronto, Canada.
Hello, Edward. Thank you for checking in from our neighbors to the north and from where we are now, our north and a little bit east. Robin Ostermeyer.
How often should we rotate the rear dual tires?
Oh, truck places. You got to go to a truck place to do that because most RV tire places, most tire places don't like to do it. RV dealers don't do it because it's usually too heavy to get your RV up on the list. I would guess every 20,000 miles, maybe if you can. We never did on any of ours that had dual rear tires. Basically, I was told we didn't have to. And but I think that if I'd gotten 25, 30,000 miles on them, I would have done it, but we never did. And neither the Mercedes dealers or the Ford dealers, none of the RV dealers that we worked with, none of them did that. I took it to a couple of the big tire shops. They didn't want to do it. So I finally did it. I was able to get some service at a truck center, but they told me I didn't have to do it at that point. I hadn't have enough miles on it. So if I recall them right, they said 25,000 miles.
It seems like that should be in one of those booklets on tire
Probably
care.
should be. Look under it. Yeah. Yeah. But nobody likes to do it. Jeff Riley.
Hey, headed to Red Barn and
Baroda, Michigan.
where is Baroda?
I don't know if he spelled it. It's in Southwest Michigan. It's by
Okay.
St. Joseph, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next weekend.
Hitting up the wine trail. Definitely it's in Southwest Michigan.
Yeah.
We have not been to Baroda. And again, I'm not sure if you're spelling that right, but we do know where the wine trail is. And kind of the epicenter for that is Paw Paw, Michigan, which is very close to our new property. And we have been there. There's a couple of vineyards that have tastings and food. And we went to a afternoon concert at one of them during harvest time this past fall and really enjoyed it.
We have to get over to St. Joe.
St. Joe is, of course, the extreme southwest of Michigan, and it's
Mhm.
part of the wine trail. There are lots of wineries all over there. It's awesome. If you get on 94 and you're in a place called Coloma, Michigan, there is a chocolate place there that makes their own chocolates that are to die for. They're awesome. And you'll see the billboards along I-94 near Coloma, Michigan, off I-94. But lots of wineries there. Peter Liller.
And we're getting greetings from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina.
Mary McManus in Fort McAllister State Park, Georgia. That's good. I think Ann is the question.
Jennifer once commented on the possibility of snakes on the Tennessee property. Did you see any? No, we have not seen any. And I have not gone looking for them.
They are cursed creatures. You know that.
I just have a ridiculous phobia, and I'm worried about Bo leaping and bounding through the woods and, getting bit by a snake because he runs all over the place.
And when we were there just this last time, we all got together with some of our neighbors, had a kind of like a barbecue, dinner outside. And just that afternoon, one of our neighbors, they were out hiking and she almost stepped on a timber rattler. She had a picture of him.
I don't know how big was that thing.
I told you, snakes are cursed creatures. They're the only animal that God cursed. And we hate snakes.
Oh,
but what
I
we
really,
do?
well, they have function. But,
What?
well,
people,
when
crazy people say, "Oh, they're good for the environment." Not my environment. Maybe yours.
well, I'm worried about my dog.
Yeah. There are poisonous snakes, and there are in most states. People have lived with them for many, many years. We have not seen them yet. Our neighbors have all seen them. Brad behind us, their dog had a copperhead that he was messing with. He was playing with, and fortunately, that copperhead was dispatched. But there are snakes.
I think because our kids lived in Georgia for quite a few years, and snakes were part of the environment.
Yeah,
get into their garage, get under their car, and that's something that you have to be aware of if you live in a place where there are snakes.
Where were we? We were somebody in Kentucky, or in Tennessee, and we were talking, and they had a fire. And the woman was talking. She went out to get a piece of wood to throw on the bonfire, and she got bit by a copperhead.
Oh my!
Who is that? That was in Tennessee, but she's still alive, and she's good for them. But we have not seen any so far, and we hope we don't.
We live in Michigan, but there's only one Massasauga, some little itty bitty.
It's a small rattlesnake, very shy,
poisonous snake.
Yep, Suzanne Weiss.
Okay, comment. Welcome from the very dry south central Nebraska. Send some lake effect snow our way.
Yeah, it's dry. It's dry everywhere we went.
It's dry on our property. I mean, in the surrounding area, I'm looking and it looks like all the little lakes and ponds are down at least 6 or 10 feet.
We were in
Elkhart, the shoreline.
We were in Elkhart, Indiana this week, looking at some new RV models for possible stories. And we noticed all the lakes, all the ponds, all the rivers seem to be really down. So even though they're, we've had a lot of rain, and they had a big snow in Southwest Michigan in the middle of
16
November,
inches.
16 inches, but nothing, that's all melted and nothing
Yeah,
since.
it was gone
Yeah.
as quick as it came.
So yeah, it is dry out there. Yep, it's the More Ride. Chris Colley went and looked. The More
Thank you,
Ride
Chris.
Cargo Sliding Try. Thank you, Chris. And the video of all those mods are right there. You can just grab that link that Chris showed. It's in the chat area off to your right on your screen.
That was when we were camping. Things were coming left and right.
Oh yeah, when we
were in Elkhart, they were like,
we had Lippert and we had More Ride all putting in new stuff, and so that's why I got confused. But I did do a video on it. James LeBlanc.
Do you have a list of Florida RV parks for snowbirds? I thought you sent an email out a while ago, but I can't find it.
Lots of stories on rvlifestyle.com. Just search Florida RV parks and you'll find a bunch of them. We're also working on a video that we'll have maybe even next week. I don't know if it'll be next week, but we hope so. However, James, you're a little bit late. You're a bit late if you're looking for this year. Keep trying, because there's always
cancellations.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a challenging, because the snowbirds have their reservations, and they got them really last spring and early summer.
There might be some snowbirds that can't afford.
Yeah, there might be, with inflation and gas prices and diesel prices and all that. But we do have lots of stories, lots of links, and of course, we've written 3 books on Florida, on the West Coast, the Gulf side, the East Coast, the Atlantic side, and the Keys. So you can find those on our books page, where we sell everything. That we have 15 travel books, and we have a lot on Florida. So right there, just go right to rvlifestyle.com, shop, and you can see our books, 3 of them on Florida. So lots of resources and free stuff. Just go to the rvlifestyle.com and search for Florida RV Park, and you'll find lots of stuff. Jeff Newman
from our neighbor,
Grand Rapids, Western Michigan.
Hi, Jeff. We got to go there and pick up some tile.
Yes, we do. Arlen Stevens from Longview, Texas.
Longview, Texas. I'd like to go visit Longview, Texas. I want to get to Texas.
Yes. Sally Bergsma.
Good evening from cold Indiana. Just curious if Jen is going to do a climbing video in that new tree on your property. Do I need to take my lead acid batteries out of the motorhome for the winter?
Yeah, you are going to do a video climbing that, right?
Sure, Mike. I'll be right after you.
Well, I have to shoot the video. So actually, we'll get our granddaughter to do it. She's already done that. Climb that tree. Yeah. Do you need to take your lead acid batteries out of your motorhome? It's probably the safest thing to do. But if you want to maybe put a trickle charger on her or on them, or run just even a 15 amp extension cord into your motorhome, that will trickle charge your batteries, and you can leave them in there for the whole time. But safest, the easiest is, you don't have to worry about it. Just take them out and put them in your house, and then bring them back. But those are very heavy.
Yeah, they're really heavy.
Really heavy. And so I would just put an extension cord into the RV, and even a 15 amp will keep them charged up, or just get one of those little trickle chargers and keep your batteries alive. You'll be okay. Marion Demert.
Greetings from Seesaw, Texas. Went from 40 degrees to 80 within 5 hours. Wow. Is that normal? Does it normally do that?
So it warm, man, that is a big warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that was with all those storms that came through earlier in the week. There were a whole bunch of bad ones, but
yeah.
A question from a Facebook user.
Have you had experience with Florida Water Management District campgrounds? Have we?
No.
We're having a dickens of a time finding out the reservation
for the
window.
PFW, the Florida Water Management District camp in Indiantown, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, they're smaller. They often are not staffing their offices, and their websites are. That's one of the reasons we never even go with them, because their websites are kind of outdated, and you can't get anybody on the phone. Maybe they open on January 1st. I don't know. We have never stayed there.
That sounds like what they might do.
Yeah, it is. You're going to always have a dickens of a time, but they don't staff those campgrounds necessarily. And, it's kind of the Florida Management District do a whole lot of other things besides run the campgrounds. So it's not a priority. Most people go in person, or they try and if you get, I don't know how long you can stay there, but they get their reservations in by probably going in person. It's just small enough. So good luck with that. I hope you can find it. Terry Stump.
I booked Florida parks in the last 2 months. We are staying 1 or 2 weeks at a time.
Good for you.
Excellent.
Good for you. Now we got in last January. We got in one, and we got in 1 year before that. But we were calling every day asking for cancellations, and we could
stressful.
Get a couple nights here, a couple nights there, and you just have to be very flexible. But like Jennifer said to our first person asked about Florida, there are always cancellations. So, and you can see you're getting in when people have canceled, and you're able to get, that's good. 1 or 2 weeks at a time is great. Chris Mondo Biondo.
Okay. Hello, Mike and Jen and Bo from Wichita, Kansas. Love the video of the new property in Michigan. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. That is awesome. We hope to see you at one of I wish we could get you up for our winter camp out, which is next month up in the UP of Michigan. We're hoping there's 2.5 feet of snow on the ground back then, but we'd love to see you. So give it a try. Always good to see our buddies from Kansas on there. We've got to remind you that shopping season, right? What do you want to get in an RVer? Lots of times we have some stuff where you can get pretty good discounts. Many of our partners that you'll find on that page right there offer discounts to our community. Check them out. You get special deals, and there's lots of stuff to take a look at for whatever you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm thinking I got to get a new round of sweatshirts.
Yep. It's time for more.
It's getting cold.
The Amazon shop RV Lifestyle, that's where all the products that we recommend and that we use ourselves, we list them on those sites. Most of the things, are things that we bought ourselves, and we like the products. And when we write about them or show them, we put them on our Amazon shop. And obviously, as an Amazon affiliate, we get a little commission. You know how that works. Everybody does that these days, but that's always good to give it a try. So give it a try. Bob Diefendorf from Tampa. Yeah, Tampa is a big RV show coming up next month. The annual start of the season really is next month. Hey, speaking of which, if you like to go to RV shows, we just did a post on the blog, rvlifestyle.com. Grab it, bookmark it. It lists all the RV shows every month of the year all over the country. And we add to that list all year round as we learn of new shows that come up. But particularly take a look at all the shows that are on the docket for January and February. There is a bunch of them. And you find that post at rvlifestyle.com. Just search for RV shows. And our 2023 list is now on the blog. It's one you want to bookmark or even print out, but I'd say just bookmark it because we change it and update it regularly. So it's a good thing to check and see. Larry Whitesell is a CDL.
Required.
If the gross vehicle weight of the truck and fifth wheel are over 26,000 pounds. In some states, I think, yes, Larry. I would never consider driving one that big yet. Maybe my days, I'm really enjoying our fifth wheel, so I maybe it'll happen. But if I recall right, in some states, you do have to have a CDL when they're that big, and that is big. But in most states, you do not have to have one. But I think I want to say California, but somebody else I bet will answer that question here that has a super monster RV that they tow, and they'll be able to tell you. But I know Class A's, you don't need one. Even Class A's towing a vehicle behind it, they don't need one. But it's the gross vehicle weight. Yes, Phyllis. Maybe she knows.
Yeah, you have a blog post about it.
Yeah,
we
I have a blog post about just about everything.
Everything. I've been telling everybody like for a year, just use your blog as a Google and just go over there and put in the words and you'll find.
Have you seen what we have? Something like 3,500 articles, I think, on that blog.
It's ridiculous.
And there is hardly a topic about RVing that we have not written one or two stories about. And I knew we had covered that, and I'm just trying to remember what it was. But so you just go to rvlifestyle.com, Larry, and search CDL for RV, and it should find it if that's wherever that story was. Yes. And that's really a good reminder, Phyllis. Thank you, that we do want you to think of RVlifestyle.com as your RV Google, because we have so many articles on there and such a resource, and it's all free. It's all free. Kendra Betts
from North Platte, Nebraska. We're going to be boondocking and have a solar shower. Do you have a good biodegradable soap, shampoo? And is it legal to use a solar shower?
Sure, it's legal. You just,
How would they
you're going to
know?
be outside. Probably. I don't know if you can be inside or out. Do you have an inside solar shower?
Must be out.
In North Platte, Nebraska, it's pretty cold in the wintertime, or you're going to be boondocking outside. So, but yes, they're certainly legal. Biodegradable soaps, I would go to Whole Foods. They have a whole bunch of those, or go online.
Just get some.
We don't use biodegradable soaps and shampoos, but when if you're showering outside, all that soap is going to go on the ground. So good for you for being environmentally aware. Good. But there's tons of them out there. Amazon, Whole Foods.
Yeah, that boondocking.
There is a shampoo. What's the shampoo? I can't remember the names of all these things.
A solar shower. That sounds like a good idea too.
Yeah.
Heat your water.
Yeah, that's always good. Good for you, Kendra. Let us know how that works out. Rachel Shaw.
If you go to Florida from Michigan, where do you stay overnight?
Well, that's about 1,200, 1,300 miles from Michigan. So I would do 2 overnights. And the first stop would be the Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington, Kentucky, off I-75.
We like that.
It's open all year round. And then probably the second stop would be somewhere around Gainesville, Florida. And there are KOAs down that way. There's lots of RV parks. The challenge you find, of course, is that I-75, which is the route you're taking, is a main snowbird route starting in January, right after the New Year. So you're going to want to have reservations. I think the last time we went to Key West, we stayed at, we just had this question a couple of months, at a state park, somewhere west of Miami. And we did a video on it. Chris remembered the last one. Chris Kelly, he'll probably put it up in the comments, so you can look for that. I can't remember all these places, We stayed there once.
So now we got an excuse. No more raking leaves and working in the yard for you, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know but I'd stay twice. First part, Kentucky Horse Park, Lexington, Kentucky. I'm sure you can get a spot there. And then the second spot is if you can make it all the way into Central Florida, South Central Florida. I'd look for a state park inland. Take one of the inland state parks, and you should be able to get an overnight there. So good luck to you, Rachel. Have fun in Key Largo. We love Key Largo. That's great. Jonathan Dickinson State Park. That's the one. Yep. Why I can't? That's twice in about a month I've been asked about that.
And that's a very nice park.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Yep. So that's all good. What else we got for questions? I think we got some spam out there, and we got to get rid of that. There's such evil people, aren't there? But you all know that. All right. So we're going to end this thing because the time has slipped away. We've already done a half hour of this. Check the podcast coming out this week. We've got lots of stuff we want to talk about, lots of news, and we'll have another video for the YouTube channel coming up on Saturday. So it's pretty cool. It's one quick comment that just came in from Mark Shaw, who noticed at the time of the posting the reveal of our 10 acres. And as he says, it was a wonderful property that we found. And we were really had a great time. It was awesome. Sally Rober. A Flying Cloud Airstream this Friday. They're picking it up in Columbus.
Oh, I like Airstreams. We will spend the first night on the lot learning what to do. Jen can give me some help on what meals I should fix. It would be for dinner and breakfast. We are so excited. I can see why you're excited.
I love the Flying Cloud.
Seeing Sally, I'm seeing little munchkins.
I want an Airstream someday.
Yes, I would like one too.
Yeah.
Someday. What your kids like to eat. If whatever you can make ahead of time, you've got little ones. Sometimes they can be real fussy about what they eat.
I don't know.
Can't go wrong with burgers and things.
So
meals she should fix.
Yeah. So what's she gonna do for breakfast?
Kids like oatmeal.
Well, we don't know if there's kids, do we?
Well, I'm looking at the picture up here. Maybe that's grandkids.
Yeah, they are. It looks like a couple little kids.
I'm seeing a couple little ones
on her face, on her profile picture. So cereal, easy cereal, eggs.
Yeah.
But it's it's their first time. They want to have fun with it. So, and what is she going to do for dinner?
She can
You're going to have a grill
out, cook outside, bring your favorite from home, just what you like.
One thing that we do a lot for when we're not staying someplace long, like you're going to be in a parking lot of an RV dealership, is we prepare meals ahead of time and bring them with us. We just put them in the refrigerator, or in your case, since you're taking possession, just put them in a little cooler with some ice, and then turn on your refrigerator and in the RV lot. Even
vegetables or a salad, I make it at home and put it in the cooler, and it's ready to go.
So a couple of make ahead meals would be so easy for you, because you're going to be so excited and you're going to be learning where everything is and what's new. It's so much easier just to warm up something. And for breakfast, a lot of people make those egg casseroles, eggs and sausage and bacon. Doing a full cook the first morning of your in a brand new RV,
and
save yourself.
I don't know about running water.
Yeah, they probably will have it. I'm sure they'll have it, but then you got to do all your dishes. So make it easy on yourself. Do make ahead meals, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lakeside Tilly.
Hello from the middle of Mexico.
Wow.
Now and the UP in summer. I did my long distance RVing when no YouTube or apps were available. So much easier with YouTube.
Well, good for you. That's great. So you're down in Mexico watching us, and then you're heading up to the UP. That's the best of two worlds.
Yeah, the best of both.
It is really, although the apps, so many people rely on the apps. We have a comment that we'll be playing in the podcast this week from one of our members of our RV lifestyle community who was following. He was just driving down the road and he saw a sign that said camping, and he took it, and he kept driving and driving, and he reached the end and there was no place to turn around. He had to back up for an hour and a half to get back to the highway.
Oh, dear.
Even going serendipity without apps is tough. What's up?
So we have a big question on the Facebook page that we just posted on what people think the biggest challenge is in RV life for 2023.
That's the topic that we want to talk about on the podcast this coming week. What do you guys think is the biggest issue that will be facing RVers in 2023? How's it going to be different than it was last year? So that's really great that they can post on our Facebook page, facebook.com/RV lifestyle. That's where you go to it. That's good. Yeah, thanks for reminding them of that. And we would love to get some of you to actually send us an audio recording, where you just take your smartphone and you can hold it up so it's got video, and just tell us what you think the biggest challenge in RV travel will be in 2023. And you can reach us. Our private email, we share this as Mike and Jen at rvlifestyle.com. In fact, just take that down. That's how you can reach us anytime. We don't publish it because so many spammers and people that are trying to make us promote stuff and pitch us ideas. This is just for your questions and comments, but we would love to get it. And if you can just do a video on what you think, or your audio, so we have different voices, what you think the biggest challenges in 2023 RV travel will be, send them to us. We'd like to include them in this week's podcast. So I need them tonight or tomorrow. If you do that, that'd be a big help for us.
I'm just seeing up there as I'm looking that it was just my husband and myself with that, trying to take the meals. So
pizza, Sally, pizza.
And
or steak.
Someone had written crock pots. So, with little kids, I wouldn't most little kids won't eat anything in a crock pot. But if it's just you and your husband, go for it.
Go for the crock pot. And and you can cook whatever you want.
I'm still thinking the biggest problem is going to be doing dishes.
Let's see already. Fuel cost and shortages. Lynette thinks are going to be the big issues for 2023. But I don't need you to write it here, Lynette. I need you to tell me about it so we can have different voices in the podcast. Help me make an easy podcast this week. This is the question that we're asking you to do. So check on Facebook or send over that voicemail or email to us at Mike and Jen at rvlifestyle.com. And with that, we are going to end this Ask Us Anything. And this it's still warm here in Michigan, 40 degrees today.
Wasn't bad. We're trying to get our leaves raked up before the snow falls.
Yeah.
Somehow I blew it with having two houses doing the paperwork to have somebody.
It was kind of nice. Our leaves. It was kind of nice being out there and raking, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't mind raking them, but you got to carry them and put them someplace.
Yeah. Well, we're got it almost done. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you have a terrific week. And since it is the season, we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas
and happy trails.